All right, we're going to export all these sketches to the laser to create each of these parts. Make sure that each part is only from a single sketch. Okay, so if I go to Part Studio, Extrude 1 comes from Sketch 1. Extrude 3 comes from Sketch 3. Extrude 4 comes from what looks like Sketch 2. So there should be only one sketch for each extrusion. Okay, the holes are not separate sketches. They're part of the first sketch. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to hit the lower left-hand corner, the little pop-up arrow, and hit plus create part studio at the top. And this is blank. I'm going to draw a 10.5 by 18 inch rectangle. So I'm going to sketch on the front plane. I'm going to use corner rectangle at the top, corner rectangle. And I'm going to press and hold, go to the origin, press and hold. I'm kind of drawing in 3D right now. You can rotate the screen using the navigation cube if you want. And I'm going to go to my, actually, you know what? I'm going to double tap. I'm going to select all of those edges for that rectangle. And I'm going to make them construction lines. You notice at the top, there's a little dashed line to solid line conversion. And then I'm going to double tap. This is just a dashed line to remind me that it's not an object line. I'm not trying to laser cut this, so I'll delete it later. Now I'm going to go to my tools and grab dimension, and I'm going to dimension the vertical edge 10.5 and zoom, and the horizontal edge 18, because it's kind of hard getting right to the edge. So this is kind of even though you're be given 12 by 20 inches of material, this is kind of the space that the laser can for sure access. So you need to get kind of close to this border. Now we're going to go back to Part Studio 1, and I'm going to grab one of these parts. So this sketch, this green piece looks like it's Extrude 7. So I'm going to go to Sketch 7, and I'm going to copy this sketch. And then I go back to Part Studio 3, where I've created this rectangle, and I'm going to paste into Sketch. Now it's not inside that border. I need to move it. It's highlighted. That's great. I'm going to go to front view. Okay, I'm going to click on the three dots and hit edit. Be careful here. Don't press anything. Make sure it's still highlighted. Go to your tools and press transform, which is right next to dimension. At this point, you have an arrow going up, an arrow going to the right, a square, and two circles. I'm going to put my finger on the square and just drag the piece into a location. Now, Onshape will know you're done moving the part when you tap in the white space. Single tap in the white space, and there it is. Great. So now I'm going to go get the second sketch from Part Studio 1. Let's get this piece right here. Looks like it's sketch Extrude 6. So I go to Sketch 5, copy sketch, and paste again into the new sketch. Again, be careful, leave it highlighted, press edit, press transform. Notice I have transform at the top already as a recently used function. Oh, now I've made a mistake. Okay, so I tapped it and then I deselected it, and if you notice, it's not highlighted anymore. So this is kind of a pain in the butt. So now I need to re-highlight my lines, or I could delete and reinsert. I wonder if I could just undo. Double tap. I can't really undo that step at this point. So I'm just going to highlight all the lines. Notice this is kind of a pain. It's easier if you're on a PC. You can actually highlight with one big swoop of the mouse. If you're doing it on the iPad, it's a little bit more work. All right, now I've got it highlighted. I hit transform, and I'm going to zoom so I can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to drag it. Now I could go down here, or I could use this rotation tool, right, and get it 90 degrees. And then I could use the square to put it in place. Leave a tiny gap in between. If it's hard to get that gap, zoom in. Sometimes it snaps and you don't want it to go where it's snapping to, right up to the edge is fine because we trimmed off some space anyway. Again, when you finish moving it to the right location, tap the white space. There you go. All right, so your job is to get all your sketches onto this 10.5 by 18 space. If they don't quite fit, it's probably because I shrunk it down from 12 by 20, so you can make another file, that's fine. Make sure you trim away any lines you don't want, like this dashed line right here. I'm gonna keep tapping it till it disappears. If you leave that there, the laser will cut that line. Look at this, I'll end up cutting my tab off right there, and I don't want it to cut that off. This line, so I actually when I finish, I actually want to remove the entire border around the edge, which I have started doing a little prematurely. Let's put it back on. But make sure you do delete any extra dash lines that you might have used when you're creating your sketches. You want to get rid of those. You should only have the border and any holes that you created, any slots. So keep attaching these your pieces until it's fit in here. Then hit the check mark, and now you're ready to export. Export. Right, I'll do that again, let's do that again a little more slowly. Hit the 3 dots next to sketch 1, and it says export as DXF/DWG. You want to make sure it's a DWG. If it was DXF on accident, change it to DWG. Go to the top, put your name, put the period of the class. All right, if you're a remote student, this is very important because it's going to help me. I'm going to put 9, period 99, and then put the name of your, if this is all pieces, you could label like that, for jewelry box. Always name things appropriately. Then you'll go to the bottom and hit export. Okay, make sure you have a PLTW folder. If not, create one. Notice where you are. I'm on my iPad, right? And on my iPad, I have a bunch of folders. So I'm gonna go to my PLTW folder, make sure my title is correct, and hit save. Right now, if I go to my Files app, and I go to on my iPad, PLTW, top left, you'll see it's sorted by date. I believe it's sorted by date. A. Hebert, period 99, all pieces for jewelry box. Then I hit the share button, and if you're in class, you'll email this to yourself and open it up on a computer. If you're remote, I'll repeat that. If you're remote, this is what you're going to upload, right? You're not actually going to email it to yourself. You're going to upload this file to Canvas so I can print your parts for you. Again, if you need to do 2 DWG files because it didn't quite fit on the 10.5 by 18 space, that's fine, but no more than 2 DWG files per person. Thanks.